Alright, so this is a trade recap for, what is today? 15th, June 15th. Or July 15th, actually. My fault. My fault. Alright, so, let's just get started. Essentially, I mean, you can see my entries or my executions here, and I made some money on what's it called? On a short here. On the account, I'm only up 700, basically 680, because I took two kind of bad losses. I think it was like 2 days ago, maybe Monday. Or no, it was Friday. On Friday. And I told myself I was going to preserve my profits, but nah, this shit didn't work. This shit didn't happen. But it was two small trades, so I'd lost 300 on both, and I was like, you know, fine, it's whatever. So it is what it is, but MPA was terrible. It's no excuse, to be honest. I think you should know not to trade when PA is bad. But yeah, it does make things a lot harder. At least it doesn't matter how good your biases or your confluences are. If PA is bad, you're going to get cooked. But you should be able to diagnose that before you take a trade. So that's no excuse. So here we are. I guess on the day, let's start with the daily here. Where the fuck did Michael chart go? Okay. So daily here. We're still in this shitty ass range. And I don't know when we're ever gonna break out of this shit, to be honest. I think war news is probably the biggest reason for all of this, but it's been pretty bad since the 15th of June, around there. So about a month. It's been terrible PA. But there's still trades you can take as long as you're being careful and as long as you're being I guess strategic in your entries. So here, like I said, I think I said this before, this gap, this daily gap doesn't really mean anything to me, considering this gap didn't mean anything to me and this gap didn't provide any real delivery. So I'm wary. I was wary of this gap, and rightly so. Look at this. Basically no delivery to the downside even after disrespecting this gap, just pure chop. So that was yesterday's price action. Didn't take a trade Monday or Tuesday because of just how bad this was. And here now we start off at 9:30. 9:30 I'm pretty bearish or bullish, I mean, just because like I said, on the higher time frames, this looks pretty bullish if you're, I guess, just not taking into account these here. And I guess my only condition was how price was going to react off of these internal lows here and this 1 hour here. And also this 30-minute here. This 30-minute here got completely disrespected once market opened. And it just, 30-minute IFVG or inverse fair value gap. It's a pretty clear indication the price wants to go lower. And then 2, what's it called? Change of state delivery, or CISD. Here, you could see there is a change in state delivery. As this looks to be bullish from making a higher high, it then made a lower low, closing below this low. So now we have a 30-minute inverse and a CISD and a disrespect to these internal lows. So that was enough for me to flip my bias and go bearish, because I was looking for longs at the beginning. And here, if we just go into these lower time frames, there is now this 15-minute gap that opens here, taps into this CISD, taps into this 15-minute, and then chops around for a little bit, and ultimately inverses this minute fair value gap here. Delivery wasn't the best, or well, I guess momentum wasn't the best, but you could still see it was very clear, and these are pretty strong levels, and look, there's a lot of resting liquidity down here. I think that is also important to note that this buy side, wow, or this sell side, why does my fucking chart do this shit? There's still sell side here, there's still sell side in a lot of these places. Just go down to 1 hour. Yeah, like these, all of this is pretty much manageable, or just, I guess, valid liquidity bulls, you can see. And ultimately that's what I was targeting. I was targeting this sell side liquidity here, or this just very obvious low, where you can step back from your, like, you can go 5 feet away from your fucking computer screen and you'll see this low. So it's a pretty valid low in my opinion, at least to target. And just price action is just trending very low. And here we have, you could have waited for this 5-minute entry, but I think risk reward just wasn't that good, and this 1-minute entry seems pretty valid. And it just plays out. Prince, I was getting a little worried here, but typically I'd rather it chop here than it to chop up here close to my TP, which was right there. So just kind of stayed in. I broke even, I think, here because I wasn't overly convinced, but I was pretty confident overall in this trade, but I knew that there was a very big chance that this could reverse and keep going higher because of my initial bullish bias at the beginning. But like I said, that was the point of breaking even early. If I would have broke even early and it gone down, I still would have been, like, I guess I wouldn't have been that mad, to be honest. But overall, pretty good trade. And we banked. I made, like, how much did I make? I made $734 on that. So pretty good trade. Played with 4 contracts, and that was my risk reward. Risk reward was amazing. So I think that's another thing that makes this trade pretty good. But yeah, really wasn't providing much of anything, to be honest. It was very choppy and very much just wanted to stay here. So it was a bit risky. As another reason why I broke even early, just because ES was very, it was consolidating a little bit and didn't really tell us where it wanted to go. Typically, when ES is in a place where it can't really deliver anywhere, I think which is around here. Yeah, look, right here. It was very close to these highs. So like I said, if I broke even here and I broke even and it still went lower, I wouldn't have been too upset, just because ES was pretty high, pretty close to these highs, and it very much could have just chopped down or gone up. I mean, so it is what it is. Things played out the way that it needed to, and we banked. So there is that. All right, see y'all later. Deuce.